There's a fire inside you that no one can see, but it's screaming to break free. Every thought you entertain, every fear you feed, every doubt you carry, it's either building your empire or chaining you to mediocrity. You must understand this simple truth. If you do not control your mind will control you. Life will throw storms, distractions, and people who want to see you fail. And if your mind is weak, you will crumble before your destiny even arrives. The battles that matter most are not fought in boardrooms, gyms, or streets. They are fought in the silence of your own head. Decide today that no negative thought, no lazy excuse, no toxic influence will have power over you. Train your mind like a champion trains his body. Discipline it, sharpen it, and watch how the world bends to your will. Control your focus, control your emotions, control your decisions, and suddenly nothing can stop you. The weak let life happen to them. The strong make life happen for them. This is your moment. Own your mind and you own everything. Hesitate and the world will own you. Your thoughts are not just whispers in your mind. They are the architects of your destiny. Every belief you hold, every idea you entertain, every story you tell yourself about who you are and what you can achieve is laying the foundation for the life you live. Most people never realize this. They live as if their thoughts are random, fleeting, meaningless, but in reality, they are the most powerful forces in the universe. A single thought, repeated and nurtured, can either lift you to unimaginable heights or chain you to a life of mediocrity. If you allow negative thoughts to dominate, if you entertain doubt, fear, and self-pity, you will see the world through a lens of limitation. You will stop before challenges, hesitate before opportunities, and accept less than you deserve. Your reality will bend to match the weakness of your mind. But the reverse is also true. If you feed courage, determination, and unwavering self-belief, you will find doors opening where there were walls, opportunities manifesting where there were obstacles, and strength rising within you when the world tries to break you. The mind does not lie. The mind is honest. Whatever it absorbs, it reflects in your actions, your choices, and ultimately in the life you live. Too many people wait for the world to change for them, but the world never changes. The people who succeed, the people who are unstoppable, are the ones who control the battlefield inside their heads first. They understand that thoughts are seeds and reality is the harvest. A single thought of failure, repeated endlessly, grows into a forest of limitation. A single thought of victory, repeated with conviction, grows into an empire of achievement. That is how champions are born, not by luck, not by talent, but by the relentless control of their inner world. Every moment you spend doubting, worrying, or procrastinating is a moment spent surrendering control of your reality to forces outside your power. And the truth is, most people do this without even knowing it. They let other people's opinions, societal pressures, and fleeting emotions dictate what they think, and consequently, what they do. They are prisoners of their own minds, enslaved by the invisible chains of thought they never challenged. You have the power to break those chains, but it begins with awareness. You must watch your thoughts like a hawk, catch the lies, the fears, the excuses the moment they appear, question them, tear them apart. Ask yourself, does this thought serve me or does it destroy me? Every thought that weakens you is a saboteur, a traitor in your own mind, and it must be neutralized. Replace it immediately with a thought that strengthens you, that pushes you forward, that reminds you of your value, your potential, your unstoppable nature. This is not easy. The mind is lazy and habitual. It will try to take the easy path back to fear, comfort, and complacency. That is why only a few succeed. But those who do succeed are relentless in controlling their inner dialogue. They do not allow a single thought of doubt to survive without scrutiny. They forge their reality one thought at a time, knowing that their world is only as strong as their mind. Every achievement you admire, every life you envy, began as a thought. Someone imagined it, believed it, and refused to let their mind accept anything less than its realization. They didn't wait for circumstances to be perfect, for validation from others, or for luck to smile on them. They understood the fundamental law of existence. The world reflects the dominant patterns of your mind. If your thoughts are weak, your life will be weak. If your thoughts are bold, relentless, and focused, your life will become bold, relentless, and extraordinary. This is why the first step to any victory, any success, any transformation is mental. Control your thoughts and your actions will follow. Control your actions and your results will follow. Control your results and your life will follow. But controlling your thoughts. is not just about replacing negativity with positivity. It's about creating a mental environment so strong, so disciplined, that nothing external can shake it. The world will try to distract you, discourage you, and defeat you. But if your mind is anchored in clarity and belief, nothing can touch your core. Every criticism, every setback, every failure becomes fuel rather than poison. Every obstacle becomes a lesson rather than a prison. This is the difference between someone who blames life and someone who dominates it. The difference is thought. The difference is mind control. The mind is the battlefield, and until you claim it, nothing else can be claimed. So take control today. Examine your thoughts with brutal honesty. Decide which are building your life and which are destroying it. Eliminate the weak, the fearful, the doubtful, and cultivate the strong, the bold, the relentless. Do not leave your mind to chance, because life will not wait for you to catch up. Feed your mind with visions of success, with unwavering self-belief, with thoughts that demand action, courage, and resilience. Train your thoughts to serve you, not to sabotage you. Because the truth is simple and undeniable. Your thoughts shape your reality every single day, in every single moment. The life you live is the direct reflection of what you think. Control it and you control your world. Ignore it and the world controls you. Discipline is not a word to be whispered lightly. It is the cornerstone of every life that achieves greatness. And yet, most people misunderstand it. They think discipline is a schedule, a set of rules, a forced routine. No. Discipline begins inside your mind. Before it shows up in your body, in your work, in your results, it shows up in your thoughts. A mind without discipline is like an untamed wild horse. It may seem free, but it is chaotic, dangerous, and ultimately controlled by whatever fear, desire, or distraction crosses its path. The truth is simple. If you do not train your mind, it will train you. It will make you act on impulse, react to every insult, crumble under stress, and settle for mediocrity. It will create a life that is dictated by laziness, comfort, and the approval of others. And when that happens, no external success, no wealth, no recognition will matter, because you will be trapped in your own chaos, enslaved by your lack of control. The people who dominate life are the ones who understand this principle deeply. The mind must be disciplined first. They know that habits, actions, and results are all downstream from thought. If you cannot control your thinking, you will never control your behavior. If you cannot control your behavior, you will never control your circumstances. Discipline is the bridge between potential and achievement, and the first step on that bridge is mental mastery. Every moment you give in to distraction, fear, or self-doubt, you are allowing your mind to discipline you instead of the other way around. Every time you choose instant comfort over long-term growth, you are handing over the reins of your life to weakness. Disciplining the mind does not happen overnight. It is forged through constant vigilance. It begins with awareness, watching your thoughts like a hawk, catching the lies, excuses, and destructive patterns before they can take root. Every negative thought, every self-imposed limitation, every fleeting desire to quit must be confronted and neutralized. You must teach your mind that comfort is not a reward, weakness is not acceptable, and distraction is a trap. This is not easy. It requires confrontation with your own flaws, honesty with yourself, and a willingness to endure the discomfort of growth. But this is where all strength begins. The mind that is trained to resist temptation, to reject excuses, and to stay focused under pressure is the mind that will dominate life itself. Discipline is not just about avoiding what is bad. It is about choosing what is best relentlessly. A disciplined mind decides in advance how it will act, thinks strategically, and executes without hesitation. It does not waste energy on regret, envy, or worry. It focuses solely on what will move it forward. And here is the secret most people never grasp. The more disciplined your mind becomes, the less external discipline you need. You no longer need someone to tell you to work harder, to eat healthier, to stay consistent. You become your own enforcer because your mind is aligned with your goals, your values, and your vision. You do not flinch at difficulty because difficulty is no longer an enemy. It is a test of your mental strength, a fire in which your resolve is forged. Without mental discipline, life becomes a series of reactions. You react to setbacks instead of responding with strategy. You react to criticism instead of growing from it. You react to temptation instead of staying true to your purpose. And each reaction slowly erodes your power, leaving you a slave to circumstance rather than the master of your destiny. But with discipline, every choice, every action, every decision is deliberate. You decide who you will be and what you will achieve, and you refuse to allow any weakness in your mind to dictate otherwise. You learn that pain, rejection, and struggle are not obstacles. They are instruments of mental fortitude, shaping a mind that cannot be broken, controlled, or distracted. Mental discipline is also the foundation for freedom. It sounds paradoxical, but the more you discipline your mind, the freer you become. A mind enslaved by impulse, fear, and distraction is never truly free. It is constantly reacting to external forces, chained to the whims of emotion and circumstance. But a disciplined mind chooses its own path, sees clearly, and acts with purpose. It can endure deprivation because it knows it is working towards something greater. It can resist temptation because it values victory over momentary pleasure. It can maintain focus in chaos because it has trained itself to remain anchored in clarity. Discipline in the mind creates an inner fortress from which all other success flows. So begin today. Challenge your thoughts, strengthen your will, and refuse to surrender to comfort, fear, or distraction. Set standards for your mind that are higher than the standards of the world. Demand that it be sharp, focused, and unyielding. Train it daily because every lapse in control is an opportunity for the world to seize power over you. Discipline your mind and your body will follow. Discipline your mind and your actions will follow. Discipline your mind and your destiny will follow. Ignore it and the world will discipline you in ways you do not want through failure, frustration, and regret. The choice is yours. Either take command of your thoughts, your focus, your will, and your life, or continue to live under the invisible chains of a mind that refuses to obey. The difference between those who dominate and those who are dominated is mental discipline. There is no compromise, no shortcut, no escape from this truth. Your mind is the battlefield. Discipline it, and you will conquer everything. Fail to discipline it, and you will be conquered by everything. Emotions are not your enemy, but they are not your master either. They are powerful instruments, capable of building empires or destroying lives, depending on who holds the reins. Most people live as if emotions are uncontrollable storms, raging, unpredictable, impossible to manage. Anger, fear, jealousy, sadness, even joy. These forces surge through the mind, and if you allow them to dictate your actions, they will lead you into chaos. The weak surrender to their emotions. They react impulsively, speak without thinking, and make decisions that satisfy temporary feelings rather than long-term goals. They are enslaved by their own hearts. But the strong, the truly successful, understand a profound truth. Emotions are tools, and when mastered, they become the most powerful forces in your life. They are fuel, not chains. They are signals, not commands. The moment you stop being a victim to your feelings and start using them deliberately, your entire existence transforms. Emotions are energy. Anger can be destructive when uncontrolled, but it can be a source of unstoppable drive when harnessed. Fear can paralyze, or it can sharpen your instincts and focus your mind. Sadness can drown you in despair, or it can deepen your perspective, resilience, and empathy. Happiness can distract you, but it can also fuel gratitude and motivation. The key is not to suppress emotions or pretend they don't exist. The key is to recognize, understand, and control them. A person who masters their emotions is not cold or detached. They are strategic. They feel, they acknowledge, they understand, and then they choose. They refuse to let temporary feelings dictate permanent decisions. They use emotions as a compass, not a jailer. Most people think emotional mastery is about strength or toughness, but it is about awareness. You cannot master what you cannot see. Every emotional response must be observed, analyzed, and understood. When someone insults you, when a setback occurs, when fear creeps into your mind, pause. Ask yourself, what is this feeling telling me? Is it a signal to act, to protect, to improve, or is it a trap meant to control me? That tiny moment of awareness, that single choice to act deliberately rather than react impulsively, separates those who dominate life from those who are dominated by it. Every moment you allow anger, anxiety, or sadness to drive your decisions, you give away your power. Every time you respond with clarity, control, and purpose, you reclaim it. Mastering emotions is not a one-time achievement. It is a constant battle. Life will test you relentlessly. People will provoke you. Circumstances will threaten you. Failures will challenge you. And the natural human reaction is to respond emotionally. The weak fall into this trap. allowing feelings to dictate behavior. The disciplined rise above, understanding that emotions are data. They provide information, but they do not dictate destiny. Anger can alert you to injustice. Fear can alert you to risk. Sadness can alert you to unmet needs. But it is your mind, your conscious choice, that determines the response. By mastering this, you convert chaos into clarity, weakness into power, and distraction into focus. One of the most powerful tools you can wield is emotional redirection. When you feel fear, use it as fuel. When you feel anger, channel it into action. When you feel doubt, transform it into preparation. Emotions themselves are not negative or positive. They are neutral energies. It is your decision to use them to build, to push forward, and to dominate, or to allow them to destroy, paralyze, and control you. This is what separates winners from losers in every arena of life. The moment you understand that every emotional surge is a choice point, that every reaction is optional, your life stops being a series of uncontrollable events and becomes a series of calculated, unstoppable moves toward your goals. Emotional mastery also frees you from external influence. The world will try to manipulate you constantly through provocation, through praise, through fear. If your emotions are untrained, every word, every action of others will have power over you. You will be like a puppet, pulled in every direction by outside forces. But if you have trained your emotions, if you are the master of your internal world, no one can control you. You decide how to feel, when to feel, and how to act on it. You turn potential weaknesses into weapons. You turn obstacles into fuel. You turn pain into power. This is the ultimate form of freedom. Not freedom from circumstance, but freedom from the chains of your own mind and heart. Begin today. Notice your emotional patterns. Stop letting them dictate your behavior. Pause, analyze, redirect, act with intention. Train yourself to feel without surrendering, to acknowledge without reacting, to experience without losing control. The stronger your emotional discipline becomes, the stronger your life becomes. Master your emotions and your mind will be your ally, not your enemy. Let them rule you, and life will become a battlefield where you are always on defense. Choose mastery, and every challenge becomes an opportunity. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every victory becomes inevitable. Emotions are tools. Learn to wield them, and you will wield your destiny. Ignore them, and you will be wielded by the world. Success is not a product of luck, timing, or circumstance. It is not something that the world hands out to the fortunate or the privileged. Success begins long before the first deal is closed, long before the first challenge is faced, long before the world even notices your existence. It begins in the battlefield of the mind. The external world may seem to dictate opportunity, advantage, or failure, but the truth is that it is completely neutral. What separates those who achieve greatness from those who struggle endlessly is mental dominance, the unshakable control of thoughts, focus, and belief. A person with mental dominance sees obstacles as stepping stones, criticism as fuel, and failure as data. A person without it sees walls, hears insults, and folds at the first sign of resistance. The mind is the foundation upon which all success is built. Without it, no wealth, recognition, or power can last. Many people wait for circumstances to align. They believe that if only the economy were better, the people around them were smarter, or the timing was right, they could succeed. But life does not wait for perfection. Life tests, challenges, and punishes those who are unprepared. The person who waits for ideal conditions is the person who will never act, never build, and never rise. Mental dominance allows you to take control regardless of what is happening around you. It is the ability to see opportunity where others see obstacles, to act decisively when others hesitate, and to maintain clarity when chaos reigns. The world is unpredictable, uncontrollable, and relentless, but a mind trained to dominate will navigate it with precision, strategy, and unwavering confidence. Mental dominance is forged through discipline, focus, and relentless self-awareness. It requires mastering your thoughts, controlling your emotions, and refusing to allow fear, doubt, or distraction to influence your decisions. Those who lack mental dominance are always reacting. They are pulled by external circumstances, influenced by others' opinions, and driven by temporary desires. Their lives are a series of responses to events rather than deliberate creations of vision. But those who master their minds are creators. They shape their reality with intention, strategy, and focus. They know that success is not about waiting for doors to open. It is about building the doors, carrying the key, and walking through with purpose. One of the most critical aspects of mental dominance is belief. You must believe in your ability to achieve, even when the world doubts you. You must see your potential clearly, even when no one else does. Mental dominance is about internal certainty, not external validation. It is the quiet confidence that no setback, criticism, or failure can shake because your mind knows the truth. Success is a function of control, persistence, and clarity, not circumstance. Every successful person in history, from entrepreneurs to athletes to leaders, understood this principle. They did not wait for conditions to be perfect. They built mental strength first and let the world catch up later. Mental dominance also allows you to maintain focus when distractions are everywhere. Life is full of noise, social media, opinions, temptations, and negativity. The undisciplined mind is scattered, chasing every shiny object, reacting to every slight, and giving away power in small, invisible ways. The dominant mind, however, is laser-focused. It filters out the irrelevant, hones in on what matters, and refuses to be swayed by short-term satisfaction or external chaos. Every action is deliberate, every decision calculated, every moment leveraged toward long-term success. This is the power of mental dominance. It turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Another essential aspect is resilience. Mental dominance is not the absence of failure or difficulty. It is the ability to maintain control and clarity in the face of them. Life will challenge you, betray you, and test you. The weak crumble under pressure. The strong learn, adapt, and push forward. Mental dominance allows you to convert pain into growth, setbacks into lessons, and pressure into motivation. External circumstances may knock on your door, but they cannot enter without your permission. Your mind is your fortress, and from within it, you construct the life you desire, not the life circumstances dictate. Finally, mental dominance fuels action. Knowledge, talent, and opportunity are meaningless without the will to act decisively and consistently. But action driven by an undisciplined mind is erratic, unfocused, and short-lived. Action driven by mental dominance is unstoppable. It is purposeful, strategic, and relentless. It is the force that takes vision and turns it into reality. Success is not a matter of waiting for the perfect storm. It is about controlling the storm within you and then navigating the storm outside with skill and courage. So take command of your mind today. Train it, discipline it, and dominate it. Strengthen your focus, sharpen your beliefs, and fortify your resolve. Stop blaming external circumstances, stop waiting for luck, and stop giving power to the unpredictable chaos of the world. Understand this truth. The world is neutral, but your mind is decisive. Success is not determined by what happens to you. It is determined by how your mind responds. Mental dominance is the ultimate weapon, the foundation of every achievement, and the differentiator between those who rise and those who fall. Master it, and you will create a life that no circumstance can shake, no challenge can derail, and no obstacle can block. Ignore it, and the world will determine the course of your life for you. Every battle you face, whether it is in business, in sport, in relationships, or in life itself, begins long before you step into the arena. It begins in the invisible, unseen battlefield of your mind. Most people underestimate this truth. They think preparation is physical, that strength is muscle, that strategy is only external. But the truth is, the first victory must be claimed internally. Every challenge you encounter is met first in thought, in belief, in your internal dialogue. If you lose that battle in your head, no external effort, no skill, no resource can save you. Doubt, fear, hesitation, and uncertainty are the true enemies that will destroy you before the real fight even begins. And yet, those who dominate understand this secret. Mastery of the mind is mastery of reality itself. Every victory starts with controlling what you think, what you believe, and how you respond before the first external action is taken. The mind is a battlefield where giants are born or crushed. Self-doubt, fear of failure, procrastination, these are the invisible opponents that lurk in your consciousness, waiting to sabotage your every move. They whisper lies, tell you you're not good enough, warn you to give up, and convince you to settle. Most people surrender to these thoughts without realizing it, and that is why so many lives never reach their potential. But the person who wins knows that victory is a mental state first. They confront their own doubts before confronting the world. They train their mind to see opportunity where others see obstacles, to see strength where others see weakness. and to see possibility where others see limitation. Every action they take is the natural consequence of a mind conditioned for success, not the random result of luck or circumstance. Preparation for battle is never just physical, it is psychological. The strongest warriors, the most successful leaders, and the most unstoppable entrepreneurs all know this. They know that if the mind is disciplined, confident, and unbreakable, then the body and circumstances will bend to it. They do not wait for perfect conditions, ideal situations, or flawless opportunities. They create their reality because they have already won the battle within. They have visualized victory, prepared for resistance, and conditioned themselves to act decisively under pressure. Every setback they encounter is met with calmness and strategy because the internal fight has already been won. Mental victory translates to action that is unstoppable, precise, and effective. One of the key elements of winning the internal battle is belief. You must believe in yourself even when the world doubts you. You must know your value, your capability, and your purpose even when others question it. Belief is the foundation upon which action is built. Without it, every step forward is hesitant, every decision uncertain, and every challenge magnified. But when belief dominates, fear loses its power. Doubt becomes a tool for refinement rather than a weapon of defeat. Confidence, focus, and mental clarity emerge, and suddenly, challenges that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones. Every victorious action, every hard-fought result, every triumph is born from this internal certainty. Control over your emotions is another critical aspect. Rage, anxiety, and frustration can cloud judgment, leading to mistakes and failure. The person who wins knows that emotions must be acknowledged, analyzed, and directed rather than blindly followed. Anger can become fuel, fear can become insight, and pressure can become motivation. But if you allow emotions to dominate your thinking, you surrender the internal battle and guarantee defeat externally. Every mental victory is a demonstration of discipline, control over impulses, over reactions, and over the instinct to give in to weakness. The battlefield outside is simply the arena where this internal mastery is revealed. Visualization and preparation are tools of mental victory. The mind that sees itself winning before the first action is taken has already claimed half the battle. Imagine every move, every challenge, every counterattack before it happens. See yourself reacting with composure, decisiveness, and strategy. The more vividly you rehearse victory internally, the more natural and unstoppable your actions become in reality. The strongest individuals do not leave this to chance. They prepare internally, rehearse outcomes, and train their mind until victory is instinctive. The first battle is won before the fight ever begins, and the rest becomes a demonstration of what the mind has already decided is inevitable. Mental resilience is also key. Setbacks, failures, and criticism are inevitable. But the person who has already won in their mind treats these not as defeat, but as lessons and recalibrations. They remain unshaken, focused, and persistent because their mental framework does not depend on external outcomes. It depends on preparation, discipline, and unwavering self-belief. The internal battle is continuous. It requires constant awareness, reflection, and strengthening, but every victory in life starts with this commitment. So take command of your mind. Train it relentlessly. Challenge your doubts, overcome your fears, and strengthen your belief in yourself. Visualize victory, embrace discipline, and prepare for every scenario internally before you face it externally. The battles you fight in the real world will be easier, faster, and more decisive when your mind is already won. The moment you master your thoughts, your emotions, and your focus, the world becomes a reflection of that mastery. Every external victory is simply the echo of a triumph that occurred first in your head. Ignore this truth, and you will find yourself defeated long before the fight begins. Understand it, embrace it, and every challenge you face will become a stage on which your mental dominance translates into unstoppable success. The final truth is simple. Nothing in life can defeat you unless you allow it to. Every mountain you climb, every challenge you face, every obstacle in your path is first confronted in your mind. Strength begins internally. Focus begins internally. Courage begins internally. When your mind is disciplined, when your thoughts are aligned with your purpose, when your emotions are under control, the world outside becomes a mirror of your inner strength. Doubts will come, fear will strike, setbacks will appear. But they are powerless against a mind that has already decided it will win. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of your destiny. Every battle you face, every fight you enter, every success you achieve is first forged in the invisible forge of your mind. Do not surrender it. Do not hesitate. Train it, sharpen it, dominate it. When your mind is unshakable, when your thoughts are clear, when your focus is relentless, victory is not a possibility. It is inevitable. Remember, the world cannot control you until your mind does. Take command today, and the battles you face tomorrow will bow before the power you've already claimed internally.